Welcome to the Eclectic Thrifter and Crafter, where we thrift and craft with purpose. It's Tea Tuesday. Or in my world, Crafty Tuesday. But today, as you can see, we're out in the garden. It's been a long, long couple of days. I've spent the last 3 days weeding and thinning, getting all the wandering snow in the mountain out of the garden. The red plants that you see to the left are peonies that I gleaned from a garden that was being thrown away about 12 years ago. We're heading toward the pond, and this is what it looked like Saturday morning, and this is what it looked like Saturday afternoon. I have a leak and I have to fix that. And by Sunday afternoon, I had the rose garden done. I thinned and weeded and rearranged flowers. We donated that sink, and my husband put in raspberry bushes. Under that tree, to the right, is where I plant all my patty pan squashes. Those green bundles are chives, and around that tree is mint. And roses and violets and lavender and phlox. There's also grape hyacinth in there, violets around the bird bath. This is bergamia. It's kind of a waxy plant. It has a pretty pink waxy flower. Snowdrops and columbine are just beginning to come out. This is from a photograph that's a few years old. Most of the roses are cabbage roses, and pretty soon we'll have new life showing up on the lawn. I cleared this little area around the tree of all the snow on the mountain and planted a trumpeter vine. In the morning, the herb garden looked like this, and this afternoon it was all weeded and thinned out. I made that little rocker that you're seeing there. That's for sifting roots out of the soil and weeds, so I don't throw the soil away. I thinned all the thyme to your right, and those are just daylilies and lavender. I had a lot of time on my hands today. Right by the rock is parsley, allium, sage, mint, and along the fence are hollyhocks, and I hope to have a whole row of hollyhocks in a couple of years. My little lupin garden, and a lonely little lavender plant I found growing under one of the roses. That's all my rhubarb. I planted that by seed about 8 years ago, and that plant is Dorothy. Not because that's what it's called, it's actually a geranium, but Dorothy was the person who originally owned the plant. Most of my garden plants are gleaned from gardens that were being thrown away, except for the rhubarb here, which I said I planted by seed. That forsythia is from my son. It wasn't doing well in his yard, so he gave it to me about 8 years ago. So I'm very tired and very sore, but it was a joy to be out in the garden again, feeling the earth. And I have the backyard left to do at the end of the week. It's supposed to rain the next couple of days. I need to thin out all of that snow on the mountain. It's wonderful for hiding foundations, but it wanders and multiplies. This is a snowball bush the original owners had cut it right down to the ground. It was 30 years old about that time, and this was 10 years ago. It took me 3 hours to dig it out, and now it's about 40 years old. These are Clematis I bought at Costco, and that's what they look like in the summertime. Well, summer's on its way, and I hope you'll join me in the garden in June when everything's in full bloom. Have a lovely day.